Our next speaker is a good friend of mine and a good friend of Bhavani. Is also a professional actress, model, activist, and motivational speaker with a long-standing humanitarian engagement. Welcome, Ms. Gabriella Wright. She is a co-founder of the Never Alone global campaign that provides support for people affected by mental illness, along with raising awareness and tackling stigma. She's also the global Goodwill Ambassador for Sky Power and the honorary president of grassroots charity in Myanmar. She lent her voice to the UN Women and the UN Trust Fund to end violence against women. So Gabriella, I'll give you a stage to share your thoughts about what's going on and how you see the world after COVID-19.
Good morning, everyone. It is so lovely to be part of this think tank. So thank you so much for organizing it. I'm already learning so much. I think the key to life is to be a constant learner. And to start this discussion, my sharing, I think that this is one of the first pandemics, I would say, in this century that we're experiencing together at the same moment in time. And we're experiencing it from different levels of awareness, different levels of society, different levels of economic well-being, different levels of mental well-being, different levels of geography. So it's very interesting because we're experiencing something together. So that has now become our reality. That has now become a common denominator. Now, what do we do with this common denominator? How do we expand and go beyond? How do we change this paradigm? Because right now we're in the middle and we don't know what is coming next. So the question is, what are we going to do with the possibilities that are there? What are we going to do with the tragedies that are there, that are existing right now in our individual well-being and our collective well-being? And the other question is, how are we going to come together again through, I would say, the taboo now of this virus that is creating a lot of fear, just because as a society we're used to being, we are dependent on physical affection, we're dependent on physical interaction, and it's something that we have disregarded because we haven't known how important that is to us. And it's only at this moment in time that we are confronted with our physical loneliness. We might have been confronted with our mental loneliness, but right now we're understanding and we're realizing that actually, we are connected. We are connected in the consumer-driven society that was our old paradigm that has been put on hold. We felt very connected in of being, in our way of consuming, in our ways of interacting with other discussion that is going forth is really the well-being, like our mental hygiene. Is never, and not only our physical hygiene, because that's what we have to do supposedly to protect ourselves from being a contagious vector and vehicle for others, but we have to, with that physical hygiene and that awareness, we're becoming aware that mental hygiene is an utmost necessity to survive, not only as an individual, but survive in seclusion, in isolation, to have resilience, to actually expand resilience, to get through a crisis that, for example, in India, and Dr. Bhavani will be able to speak about that more than I, because I'm not there right now, but in Nepal, areas where we have seen very acute crisis of people dying of hunger and isolated due to other factors because of this, you see. So it's a very interesting new awareness that we're creating. And I think because we are experiencing suffering through different forms, like Dr. Ilian, you were talking about, there's domestic violence. Rate in France, for example, French has gone through the roof. People do not want to stay home in this place. And in a strange way, I've been traveling most of my life since I'm 18. I'm now 30, going to be 38. And this is the first time on a personal level where I've had to recreate my home at home. And that is an extreme privilege. That's a beautiful privilege. But, I'm lucky. I'm a single mother. I don't have a partner to deal with. And I don't have an interaction where that will trigger maybe certain traumatic events that some individuals, some women and men have experienced before. You see. So this pandemic, as one so calls it, is really a moment where we all are checking in to our realities. And these realities are very individual, yet at the same time, of us. Putting a highlight on domestic violence. They're putting a highlight on mental health. They're putting a highlight on the failing economic system that we've been in. And what it's doing is that we're realizing that we do need each other, that we are all interconnected, that there is an interdependence between us individuals, between us as human beings. And I think it's beautiful because we've been functioning, unfortunately, and I have also been I don't know if you want to call the victim of this or not, but you have to go to work, you have to make a living, you have to show up every day. You've got to show up in a different context for society. And what if you show up for yourself, one day? What if you show up for your own well-being? What if you show up for your wonder in humanity again, and how accountable we become as one actor and vector of change, you see. And how does that really and truly matter? And I think that's an incredible thing, because I think through these moments where we're connecting through this virtual world, which is, technology, we're finding, I would say, a more human side to it, because we need technology right now to connect and to circulate values and new ideas and new paradigms. And I'm not into technology in the sense I'm not a specialist, but I still feel that the internet might be a free world still, to a certain extent. And I think that if we're able to navigate and create the free world through technology right now, while we're addressing our resilience and our sustainability as a human species, as humanity, I think we might be able to really incredibly beautifully challenge ourselves for this new reality. And what else I almost want to kind of open end my little sharing here whilst we listen to the others, professors and doctors and incredible people. Krishnamurti, I love Krishnamurti. He's a wonderful philosopher, but I was pondering on this one thing that he wrote. And he said, the moment I realize I am humanity, that is the greatest of all actions. You see, so it's understanding that the individual is the heart of change, and is that the heart of all movement of humanity. And when we're able to experience humanity through our own being and through our own consciousness, then I think we can really change the world somehow. And this is a wonderful way. We needed a reset. This is a reset. And not only is this a reset, this is a place where we can highlight all the suffering that is happening right now and truly find a sustainable way to go ahead and heal as a collective, but not only heal silently, but be active in our own well-being and voice our collectivity through